Detectives Gerard Gigante and the commanding officer of the Homicide Section, Detective Lieutenant Kevin Byrer. After the Commissioner and District Attorney make their remarks, we will take a few questions. We will also distribute a transcript of the Commissioner's remarks at the end of the conference. Please keep in mind that due to the nature of this investigation, the Commissioner will not comment on statements made by prior administrations, nor comment on possible suspects, additional evidence, or specifics in this investigation. And due to the number of media here during the Q&A, I would just ask that you raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Thank you. Commissioner?
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. The Gilgo Beach investigation is perhaps the most well-known and complex that this department has ever undertaken. It is important that the families of these murder victims know that we remain steadfast in our commitment to deliver justice, and in doing so, give a sense of closure. In our continued effort to advance this investigation, today we are sharing information with the public that we hope will shed new light on this investigation. In a few minutes, I will release a photograph of a previously undisclosed piece of evidence found at one of the crime scenes. We understand the value of information provided by the public that could assist us in this case. That is why we are launching a website dedicated exclusively to the Gilgo Beach investigation. GilgoNews.com is a platform to better facilitate an information exchange with the public, where the department will, when appropriate, release information as well as provide an additional avenue for the public to submit a tip. And finally, I will update you on a scientific technique that we are utilizing that we hope will move this case forward. Before I get into specifics, let me review the chronology of what has brought us here today. It has been more than 9 years since Suffolk officers searching along Ocean Parkway for Shannon Gilbert, who had been reported missing months earlier, discovered the first set of remains belonging to Melissa Bartholomew on December the 11th of 2010. A further search of the area 2 days later led to the discovery of 3 more bodies: Amber Lynn Costello, Megan Waterman, and Maureen Baynard Barnes. The search for Shannon continued, and in March of 2011, the remains of Jessica Taylor were located, nearly 8 years after Taylor's partial remains were located in Manorville in July of 2003. 3 more sets of remains were discovered on April the 4th of 2011. Jane Doe number 6, whose partial remains were previously located in Manorville in November of 2000. The remains of an unidentified female toddler believed to be approximately 2 years old, who, through DNA testing, has been identified as the daughter of a woman whose remains were located in Nassau County. And finally, an unidentified Asian male believed to be between 17 and 23 years old. A week after these 3 sets of remains were found in Suffolk, the remains of 2 additional victims were located in Nassau, including the toddler's mother. Police continued their effort to locate the woman whose disappearance had initiated this search, and on December the 13th of 2011, the remains of Shannon Gilbert were located in Oak Beach. Today, we are launching a website dedicated to sharing information with the public about these unsolved murders, and also providing a new way for the public to provide us with tips. To that end, we are asking the public to carefully consider the information provided on the website and whether they may have any information that could bring this case forward. As appropriate, we will share additional information via the website with the hope that with its release, the public will generate new tips and new investigative leads. The website will be dynamic with evolving content posted over time. From the onset, there will be a section to enable the submission of tips anonymously, should the tipster choose so. Today, we are releasing the first piece of new information that will be featured on the website. A significant piece of evidence found at one of the crime scenes along Ocean Parkway. A black leather belt embossed with the letters HM or WH was recovered during the initial stages of this investigation. We believe that the belt was handled by the suspect and did not belong to any of the victims. We are not providing the specific location where the belt was found, and additional information on this item will not be available at this time. However, we do anticipate releasing photographs of the belt via gilgonews.com when appropriate. We are hopeful that this photograph will bring somebody forward with information about the origin of that article. In addition to this newly released image, we are optimistic that scientific advances will also bring new information to light. We have leveraged the expertise of our federal partners and are utilizing new scientific advances to expand our investigative capabilities. We were granted approval by the New York State Department of Health and have provided the FBI with DNA samples from our unidentified victims for the purpose of conducting genetic genealogy. The process includes uploading DNA to public genealogy databases in an effort to identify possible relatives of our unidentified victims. It is not clear how long this process will take. Information about the possibility of other DNA collected during the investigation will not be discussed. Even with these advances in technology, we know that the public remains one of our greatest resources. I encourage anyone who may have information to submit a tip, even if you wish to remain anonymous. The new website can be accessed at gilgonews.com. You can also submit a tip to Crime Stoppers by visiting p3tips.com, and Crime Stoppers can also be reached at 1-800-220-TIPS. There has been a tremendous amount of effort put into solving this case, and I can tell you that everyone involved is motivated by one goal: to deliver justice to these victims and to give them some sense of peace and some sense of closure. Before we take questions, our Suffolk County District Attorney, Timothy Sini, will address the media. Before he does so, I want to thank him for his partnership. Him and his team have been committed, and together we are all committed to solving these homicides. Thank you.